Well, good morning. Getting a bit of a later start here this morning. And it's not very often we have two coffee mugs on the table at the same time. We got yesterday's and today's. Yeah, I've been kind of busy this morning. I was cleaning up my old TV, and somebody's going to be coming by and picking it up. And I'm going to now have an excuse to get my 8K. Wishful thinking, I'm afraid, until the price comes down. Anyway, as you can see, I did come back to the model table yesterday. And I think what we should do in order to make everything here more plain, we should roll back. So let's just roll back and see how it went yesterday afternoon. I'm guessing it's about going on 3 hours ago now that we glued these little pieces on, and they're pretty hard. And I think what I'm going to try to do this afternoon is, well, actually, if I can get these first four on, it would have to go like this, wouldn't it? Okay, so I think the thing to do will be to try and hold this and try and work the first four in and worry about the ones on the wingtips later. At least that's what makes sense to me. We might get it yet tonight. We'll see how it goes. Can't guarantee you I'll be able to do it on camera, but give it a try. Okay, I am wondering if maybe I am going at this backwards. And the reason being is that it is quite easy to get the ones in the wingtips in place, all four at the same time. But maybe can you notice that the two that come just above the engine nacelle, they go up into place, but these other two off to the sides, on either side, they seem to be too short, and yet those were the ones that the plan called for. I'm thinking now that had I used the longer ones, maybe from the other kit or from the other sprue, that possibly it might have worked better. It's either that or nip a half a millimeter off of each one of those two that is almost in place right now. I think maybe that might be the easiest way to go. Otherwise, I'm going to have to pull these other two out and risk having a problem getting the others back in. Yeah, I think I'm going to just very, very carefully nip off the two that are just above the engine nacelle, and yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Just very carefully, so that it's just the same height as the other two. I'll stick this this blue tack thing back on the. Oh, it doesn't want to come off. I didn't glue it. Just a very tight fit in the hole there. Well, wasn't that something? There we go. I was pulling pretty hard there. Okay, let's get this back on the little block here. Very carefully what I press down on. And then we'll take the Tamiya cutters over here and just sort of kind of eyeball it. Now I'm not going to do it like this. I'm going to put this down on something careful, and maybe we'll put the macro lens on. That way you can watch me make a mess of it. Now, I had another thought here, not necessarily a very good one, but what if I was to drill those two holes deeper? The problem is I might accidentally go right through and up through the top of the wing, and that would be more visible than the fact that this wing was actually lower and closer down onto the nacelle than it was supposed to be. So I think that probably, just let me get my other glasses here. You wouldn't believe what I'm using for a steady rest, but I've drank all the coffee that was in Kevin's cup. And I've got it laying on its side here. Now, I've got myself squashed down here. I'm trying to see. Okay, that's that one. How can I do the other one the same way? I'll just turn it around here. Okay, now let me check the monitor and see if they look like they're all the same height. Well, they're better. I think we can probably get it together now. Thanks, Kevin. We are now down at the bottom of step 3. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. It involves some very, very delicate photo etch here. I won't have any trouble cutting the pieces out, but fastening them so that they look believable, I might be better off maybe not having the photo etch on there. You know, I guess I could give it a try. I know I keep talking like this, you know, it's sort of like you're probably thinking that I'm deliberately setting the stage here, so to speak, and saying things like I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, when actually I think I probably can. And I really don't know if I can do it. You know, things like putting the propeller on and the wheels on, and we shouldn't have a problem doing that. Oh, by the way, this clamp is not squeezing real hard. It's only squeezing hard enough to put a bit of a bow or a dihedral in the top wing, so that it will, those four pieces over the nacelle will make contact. And I use the quick setting. So I think I'm just going to leave it squeezing like that overnight, let the plastic get nice and hard. Yeah, the 4 in the center are under tension, and the 4 on the wingtips are under compression. So we'll just leave it overnight. Maybe I can show you here. Or maybe I can't. Yeah, I think it's going to be all right. And I'm making good use of Kevin's mug today. Yeah, it held coffee for the first few hours, and then it acted as a steady rest for my arm. I had it, you couldn't see it, but I had it right under here. It worked really good. And now it's, I don't know what you'd call it right now. Anyway, yeah. Earlier this morning when I was checking my comments, I got a comment from somebody who had obviously heard that I was wondering about changing the speed in Adobe Premiere Pro. In other words, the speed of a clip. And in this case, the sunrise. So, yeah, let's just give it a whirl here. I haven't tried it yet. I'm sure it's going to work. But, well, let's just see. Well, that was kind of interesting. Now, I know a couple hours has passed. It didn't take me 2 hours to figure out how to do it. But I was doing a lot of experimenting around, and yeah. So now we can do that. We can speed up or slow down a video clip. Now, this has been on since last night. I'm pretty sure this is going to hold together. Now there's not a lot of tension on these 4 connections, and there's not a lot of compression on these ones here on the outside, but there is some. And I can imagine that if I didn't let this glue, dry really, really good, there's a chance it could slowly have pulled apart. So now, what about the wheels? I think that's, oh no, the photo etch. Yeah, the photo etch. All right, let's, where are those pieces that I had yesterday? Okay, this is going to be interesting. So it looks like the number 1s go on the leading edge of the wing in between these struts. The number 3s go on the trailing edge around in behind here. Yeah. And then the smaller ones, they're just going to go on the, yeah, something like that, I guess. Thinking out loud again. Okay, let's get them nipped off. Okay, I have already cut these ones right here that are in this direction. So the only ones that are left to do now are these ones, you might say the top ones. Oh, kind of bent that one a little bit. All right. Now, these other ones here, I'm going to have to sort of get in here light. These remind me a lot of the what we referred to as the spider that went over top of the funnels. Whoop. There we go. I have to move really slowly here because I might think it's loose when in fact it's not. Let's see if I can pick up these bigger ones in the center like that. Yeah, it worked out all right, didn't it? There. Now here is where we are going to let gravity be our friend. It almost looks like this one is bent on the end. Yeah, it is. I wonder how I did that. Okay, a couple of minutes has passed here. Now, my thinking is, if I can just lay this on without it falling through. Now, I imagine that what's supposed to happen is it's supposed to not lay on this cross member, on these struts rather. It's probably supposed to go in between. Okay, gotta go. Okay, about 5 minutes has passed here, and I see that this little piece is still where it fell. Now, if this proves to be too frustrating for me, I'm not going to do it. You know, it could be that I should still let gravity be my friend, but I'm wondering if maybe it should sort of stand up. Although, if I was to put a little bit of, where is it here now? Okay, now if I was to put a little bit of CA, probably medium or thick, it's a really tiny little bit on this joint right here, and then very carefully just try and get two of them glued in place. Okay, I think I might be able to do it like that. Yeah, and then when I let go, it should stay there. And then we could very slowly or carefully do the ones on the upper wing. Okay, I'm going to give that a try. But you can see here how it stays there all by itself, more or less. It's not quite right though, is it? I wonder if I was to flip it over. Is it possible that those things aren't square? Like, I mean, one is longer than the other. I thought they all looked about the same length. I think at arm's length, that detail will be nice, and at arm's length, the person will not be seeing. You will not be seeing the fact that it's not in the right place at the top, because you'd be looking down on the plane. It'd be almost impossible to look up on the plane, because it's going to be mounted on the catapult, which is sitting on the top of the turret. So, yeah. Now, not to worry, I will get this figured out, and when I do, I will put on the macro lens and we'll get in nice and close. I think I might be able to do this, but it's not going to be right now. Stuff is happening here, and in other words, life is happening, so I've got to go. Thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.